more highlight. I want to glow like a goddess today. Oh, we're filming. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have an exciting review and a demo to do of the new Kat Von D Metal and Matte palette that Kat Von D has come out with this holiday season, and I knew instantly that this palette is going to be one of the most popular palettes for this season. So I was waiting for it to arrive in the Sephora stores in Dubai. And yesterday when I went to Sephora to pick up one thing, which it ended up to be a few more things than that. It's normally the case when you go to Sephora, you always end up buying more than one thing, and they all seem very important at that moment, at least. So I went to the Kat Von D counter and I saw that the Metal and Matte palette was there. I tried it. I actually tried it on my eye. I know a lot of people will hate me to say this because I actually did not enjoy the Shade and Light eye palette because first of all, the eyeshadows are very powdery, very similar to the Lorac Pro eyeshadows, which I absolutely love. And to be honest, like, I can ignore the powdery part as long as it builds up, as long as the colors build up really well. But no matter which eyeshadow I tried in that palette, it wouldn't work for me. And this time I gave it a lot of thought. I saw a lot of reviews on, and I made sure that I tried and tested the palette in the store without an eye primer, and to see whether the colors, the pigmentation to the previous palette, and you know, whether it's really worth the purchase or not. I'll be giving you my honest review on that. And let me show you my big Sephora bag. I think whenever I've got a big Sephora bag and I'm walking in the mall, I think it's one of my proud moments. It makes me feel really important and very nice. Are you guys like that as well? I don't know. Sephora excites me. This is my giant Sephora bag. To be honest, like, it can cover the whole screen. I did not do this much of shopping from Sephora. To be honest, the reason why they gave me this big bag is because the Kat Von D palette is so huge that this is the only bag that it would fit in. So first things first are these two liquid lipsticks from Kat Von D. A lot of you who follow me on Snapchat, you already know that Kat Von D is one of my favorite liquid lipsticks formula. I think they're the most comfortable liquid lipsticks that I have ever worn, apart from the Anastasia ones and some of the Hudabeauty ones that I really enjoy. If I had to choose between this one and my Anastasia or Hudabeauty, I would always choose my Kat Von D. I think it's just the consistency and the wear and the comfort is just a tad bit better than the other liquid lipsticks. So let me show you the shades that I picked up. Your background story: my sister borrowed my Lady Danger lipstick from MAC, and she never gave it back. And then when I asked her for it, she told me that she lost it, and she promised me that she'll get me another one, but she never got me another one. So I have been looking for a liquid lipstick which is exactly the same shade as the Lady Danger. Von D, like, she has like the most shades of red in her line. So if you're like a makeup artist and you want to have all different undertones of red lipsticks, or like different kind of red shades, then Kat Von D is the line for you, because she has like one of the most variety of reds in her line. And the first shade, which I think is very similar to the Lady Danger shade from MAC, and this one's called Sangre. You guys can laugh on my pronunciations. I love her applicator. She's got like a normal doe foot applicator, and you can see the pigmentation is insane. There you go. I think it's very close. I think it's probably exactly the same shade as the Lady Danger shade, and this is like one of the red shades that actually make your teeth look a lot whiter, and it really brightens up any outfit. That is Sangre. I think so. You guys can correct me in the comment section below. And the next shade is, oh my god, it's Nars for Atu. Oh my god, how do these guys come up with such names? I don't understand. So basically I was looking for a maroon, like a proper pure maroon liquid lipstick. The one that I have is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it's called Heathers, and it's a beautiful shade. It's a beautiful formula, but it has a little bit of a brown undertone, and I was looking for a red undertone, like a pure maroon. So this is Nars for Atu. As you can see there, that's what it looks like side by side. And I picked up this small Sephora eye makeup remover. This is the waterproof one, and I just wanted to pick this up for traveling purposes so that it doesn't take that much space. And let me show you the Metal and Matte palette. This is what the packaging looks like. It is beautiful. I think Kat Von D is so creative with her artwork. The metal part is embossed, so that feels really good. And the coolest part is, look at this, guys. So you see metal now, and that's matte. How cool is that? And how creative is that? I love how she adds this like personalized touch in all her packaging and all of her makeup products, and I think that's the reason why she has one of the best products in her makeup line, because she, you know, she's not, I think she's not one of those celebrities who've just come up with a makeup line and, you know, and that's it. Like, I think she really puts her heart and soul in this, and that's what I really appreciate about Kat Von D, and I really want to support her in that. So let's open the packaging and see what it looks like from the inside. And it comes with the normal sort of leaflet, which gives you the different kind of looks that you can do. So let's ignore that. Okay, so this is what the palette looks like. It's exactly the same, and it's cardboard package, and it's not like one of those packaging where, you know, the moment you put your fingers on it, it gets dirty. Exactly the same packaging as her Shade and Light contour kit and the Shade and Light eye palette. The best thing what I like about is she's got all the shades, all the names of her eyeshadows behind the palette. I've already done the tutorial using this palette. It will be coming out later in this video. Link down the exact time down below somewhere here, so if you want to just skip to that part, you can do that. So when I was doing the tutorial, I didn't have to keep looking at the names. I did do that initially, but then later I realized that she's got all the names at the back, and that made it so easy for me. So you can actually read out the color names just from the back, and I think that's really cool. It has a humongous mirror, and this is what the shadows look like from inside. They are so pretty, and they just look so stunning. Even if you wouldn't use it that often, which I would be surprised that you wouldn't, it's such a pretty palette just to keep on top of your vanity. Like about Kat Von D is how she selects her colors and how she arranges her colors in all her palettes, all in a set of cords. So you can see this is like one cord here, and then this is like the second one, and then you've got a third one over here, and then you've got a fourth one. You know, you can always mix around. You don't have to actually stick to the cords, but I think it's such a well thought out palette for everyone to use, for someone who is a makeup artist, who's a blogger, someone who's just starting out on makeup. It's just an amazing palette to have. And because I've already done the tutorial, I can actually confidently say that all the colors that I tried out performed beautifully, and they gave such an amazing pigmentation. It wasn't at all like her previous palette that I had used. They were still powdery because I think that's a formula that she goes for, but honestly they were so easy to build up, and they blended out so smoothly. I didn't even have to like move my brush around that much. You know, the shadows were doing the work for me. So it's very easy for someone who's just starting out on makeup to actually use this palette and get a very good eye makeup out of it. Let me tell you how much I picked this palette up for. 320 dirhams at Sephora in Dubai. I think this should be around $60 odd in the US, and it is a limited edition palette specifically for the holiday season. So if you guys are thinking about getting this, you probably want to go and purchase this right now, because once this runs out, it's not going to be back. And another feature what I really like about is the fact that you can actually fold the palette like this. I hate palettes which just stay like that. I know a lot of people prefer that because they want to look at the mirror. It's easy for them to look at the mirror and do their eye makeup, but I prefer doing it like just folding it this way. I think it's so comfortable holding the palette this way. And another thing that I want to give credit to her for is to add a matte black shadow. I know a lot of palettes, like, they don't add a matte black shadow, and that really bothers me, because whenever I'm using a palette, I don't want to be picking up other palettes or other single shadows and try to combine everything. I want to be able to create a lot of makeup looks using one palette. I mean, that's the whole purpose of having a palette in the first place, right? So I really appreciate that she has a matte black, because I really like to use matte blacks in most of my eye looks. The only thing that I felt that was missing from this palette was a shimmer highlight shade. And the closest shimmer highlight shade is this shade called Glitz, and it has, actually, It has a bit of like a pinky undertone, which is not too bad actually. Now that I'm looking at it, it's not too bad. It actually looks more pink in the pan. That's the reason why I thought that you can't use that as a highlight, but now that I've swatched it, I feel that I could have used that as my shimmer highlight, but I still feel like she could have probably added like a champagne kind of highlight shade in her palette, and that would be like the perfect thing. But it's just me being me, and I'm just being picky because I'm a makeup artist, and you know, I'm trying to look at all the different angles, and you know, I don't want to come across as being like totally biased, you know, and just talking all the, you know, just laying out all the good things about this palette, and then guys, to keep you guys in the dark. I will never do that, so I just want to be completely honest in this review. That's the only thing that I felt that was missing in this palette. Apart from that, I love her color selection and the fact that she's actually added like her metal shadows with her matte shadows. You get a lot of product and you get a lot of colors in this one palette. You get 9 of her metal shadows and you get 13 of her matte shadows, which is such an amazing for the price that you're paying for, guys, because with that many eyeshadows, especially she's combined both her metal shadows and her matte. Her metal shadows are very close to a foil shadows. They are amazing in pigmentation. If you go ahead and purchase one of her metal shadows, I think it's worth like $20 or like 100 dirhams for one metal shadow. I might be wrong, but it's closer to that amount. So compare that to all of this, I think this is no brainer, guys. I think it's pretty obvious that this palette is bomb and it's amazing, and thank you Kat Von D coming out with such an amazing palette, guys. So let's begin with the swatches. So the first shadows that I'm going to pick up is Velvet, Bone, Suede, and Oak. This is Velvet, and this is Bone, Suede, and this is Oak. So the Velvet shade came out a little patchy, guys, but you know, once you build up, it'll be fine. And I tried this specific shade in the store and it performed really well. So next 4 shadows that I'm going to swatch is Feather, Fringe, Silk, and Ribbon. This one's Feather, Fringe, and Silk, and Ribbon. So this is Silk, Fringe, this is Feather, and the last one is Ribbon. So the next 4 shades that I'll be doing is Moss, Stone, Velour, and Jet. So Moss is a beautiful moss green, and then Stone is a dark gray, and then Velour is a beautiful navy blue, and then Jet is like a matte black. See the pigmentation, guys, it's insane. Look at that dark gray, look at that blue, and then look at that black. Is Linen, which is a matte white shadow. I'll just swatch that right next to it. So these are the matte shadows, and then let's go on and swatch the metal shadows. Okay, so let's swatch Flash, Synergy, Volt, and Twinkle. Flash is a beautiful gold. Synergy is a bronze shade. Volt is a beautiful metallic purple. And then Twinkle is a beautiful lilac. Look at that gold, guys. I don't think the viewfinder is picking up the intensity of these colors that well. I mean, in reality, these are a lot more pigmented. If you don't like the matte shadows, I mean, definitely pick this up for the metal shadows because it's still worth the price. And the next 4 I'm going to go for is Glitz, Tinsel, Ignite, and What. Yeah. So Glitz is like a beautiful champagne pink. Tinsel is the only shadow in the palette which has specks of glitter. And then Ignite is a beautiful silver blue. And then What is a beautiful emerald green. Oh my god, I love these ones. I think this is probably my favorite ones. from the palette. I just have one left, and this one is Nebula, which is a beautiful sapphire blue, but it's in the metallic formula. And look at these shadows. I think the metal shadows are so beautiful. I definitely prefer the metal shadows more than the matte shadows in this palette, but what I really appreciate about this palette is the fact that it has everything in one single palette, and the price is just right. I mean, you can't beat the price. This is the only palette which caught my eye from all the holiday palettes that's come out. I'm really happy with this purchase. I think I'm definitely going to be using this a ton. You know, when I was creating this look, I really didn't notice any fallout on my face. You will probably see that in the tutorial next. So easy for me to blend the colors that I really enjoyed using this palette. So guys, that's it for the review part of this video. If you have any other questions on this palette, then do let me know in the comment section below, or you can also send me your comments and your questions on my Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, as to answer any questions that I've probably not answered in this video. So all the products that I've used on my face will be listed down below. And if you want to know how to get this look, then please keep watching. So, okay guys, so let's begin with the tutorial. I've already done one of my eyes because I didn't want this video to be 40 minutes long, and I just wanted to get to the point. Basically what I've come up with is I've done a cut crease on this eye, and I'll show you how to recreate the look on this eye. So I've already gone ahead and primed my eyes. I use my own concealers to prime my eyes. I don't use an eye primer anymore. I've used the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard to prime my eyes, and I've already set it with some translucent powder from Mercier. So the first shadow that I'm going to go ahead with is this shadow called Suede, which is a beautiful light tan color, perfect for the upper crease. I'm going to be applying that with my Morphe M441 brush. I'm going to pick up that color on the tip of my brush, and I'm going to go ahead and apply that on my upper crease. And I'm going to just pick up some more. A very similar shade to this is Creme Brulee from Makeup Geek. So if you have that, this is very similar to that. The next shadow, and to be honest, I think it's one of my favorite shadows from the palette, is this color called Oak. It looks much darker in the pan, but actually when you apply it, it is very similar to Uninterrupted from MAC, or the Bobbi Brown shadow called Camel, which is like one of my favorite transition and crease colors. I'm gonna pick that color up using my Sephora crease brush, and this is number 13. If you don't have this brush, which I think you probably don't because I think this is discontinued, you can use your Sigma E25 or your MAC 270, and you want to actually see how amazing and beautiful this shadow is, because it will just add a beautiful depth to your crease. And these shadows are so smooth and so pigmented. Honestly, like, I don't have to do much, and it just blends beautifully. I'm really impressed. Especially this color was really calling out to me. So the next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a shimmery shadow on my lid, and I'm actually going to put a base before I go ahead with my shimmery shadows. I like to do that is because I have slightly hooded eyes, and I notice that whenever I have shimmery shadows on my lids, it kind of transfers into my crease, and therefore I like to put a sticky base all the time. And my favorite one is from Too Faced, which is the Too Faced glitter glue. That's how potent this glue is. You don't need that much. Which will go on our lid, which is this shade called Ignite. MAC 252 flat shader brush. Turn the brush around, and I'm gonna go in and pick up the shade Tinsel, which is the silvery glitter shadow in the palette. And there's hardly any fallout on my face These shadows are so beautiful, guys. So the next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my Sigma E36 brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and pick up the Oak shade again, and I'm just going to put that in my lower lash line. So I came across the Kat Von D liquid lipstick in the shade Echo, which is basically a navy blue liquid lipstick that I had bought, but I've hardly used this. So I came across this and I just came up with this idea, why not I use this lipstick as my eyeliner today. But because they're so liquidy, they really feel very light on your lips, and you actually feel like you're not wearing any lipstick at all. So I had a little trouble applying this as my eyeliner, and that's not Kat Von D's fault at all, because this is not meant for an eyeliner. This is actually meant for your lips, and they do an excellent job for on your lips. And I'm going to apply that using my Sigma small angle brush, and the number is E65, and hopefully I don't mess this up. And then we're going to pick up the dark blue shadow from the palette. I'm going to use the same brush to set that eyeliner. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the crease. So my girls who've got hooded eyes, you want to feel the bone, the crease bone, and you want to go a little higher than your actual crease. And just use the same shadow to blend, and the same brush to blend that color a little upwards. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut my crease again, because we blended out our cut crease. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the same Sigma E36 blending brush, and I'm going to pick up the Oak shade in the palette. I'm just going to apply that on top of that cut crease. And I'm going to go and deepen our cut crease even more, and I'm going to mix up the blue and black shadows in the palette. I'm going to again pick up the same Kat Von D lipstick. I'm just going to define the inner corner. And I'm going to pick up the same velour powder, and I'm just going to tap that in just to set it in place so that it doesn't smudge during the day. And I'm just going to pick up the Tinsel shade, which is a silver shimmer glitter shade in the palette, and I'm just going to pat that in. A white eye pencil, this one is from MAC. You can use any one that you have. And I'm going to put that in my waterline just to brighten it up. I'm going to use the Makeup Forever Smoky Lash Mascara. Put that on. MAC Extended Play Giga Black Mascara. Use a bone shadow in the palette. I haven't yet decided which lashes I want to put on. So let me go on and put on some lashes, and I'll be right back.